Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, you said something earlier on. Does that imply that we have cliques and caucuses in the comedy industry? Are there really cliques in your sector?
I've roped myself, Abby. So I'm not going to sit here to deny. I don't think it exists anymore, but there used to be. I wouldn't say it was clique. It was just people, some set of people who feel comfortable working with themselves, right, other than spreading it across. They had themselves, they were working together, but right now it's not there anymore, and we have to be thankful to social media. Social media has made it very open. Everybody's with everybody, no caucus, no clique anymore. Nothing like this person they do show, if you put me this person. Everybody does everything that they want to do. If you're doing fine, if you're top notch in your game, everybody will feature you. Right? If you're top notch in your game, everybody will feature you. But those days, to be honest, when I came into the industry, it was segmented, I don't want to call names, but you see this big brand, he has so set of boys he's working with. You see this big brand, he has so boys he's working with, it was segmented that way. But right now, we're all family.
Now, what makes a joke sweet?
The audience. I think the audience, that is the audience. A product, you can never tell how beautiful a product is until it gets to the final consumer. Right? It's the consumer's feedback that decides whether you've done a good job, whether you've done a good packaging, because you can't pay. So I think the audience determines, or the audience makes a joke sweet. Because if you tell the joke and it doesn't land well, and the beautiful thing about comedy is that your result is being told to you immediately. It's just in front of you. You don't have to say you are not funny. Them not laughing alone, I've told you are not funny. I've told you that this one no enter. And so you try it with different audiences. Like for me, I tell a new joke, I create a new story, I try it with audience A. If it doesn't work, I try to tweak it a little. I try with audience B. If it doesn't work, audience C, then it's certain for me that joke can fly. But sometimes the audience determines. And so a joke for me is only funny on the night. If I tell it in Port Harcourt and it's funny, then it's funny. If I tell it in Ibadan, it's not funny, I consider it wasn't funny that night. That's not to say it's not a funny joke, but to me, the audience determines when a joke is funny.
So how can a comedian hold his audience spellbound?
The trick I use, like I said before, I like to tell jokes that they can relate with. When it's a story that everybody is familiar with, you can go for an hour and they won't even know that time has gone. As long as it's funny. The story has to be relatable. Fictions can only take you for a while. You create a fiction, but one at the crossroad, now I just see one ghost. People know that those things don't happen. Sometimes those stories might be funny, but you can't go on and on and on and on with it. Right? Holding your audience spellbound, you have to come with something that you and them can relate with. And that's why if I'm going to perform in America, I like to do a little research on America so that I can relate, even if it's Nigerians in America. They've been out of this environment for a long time. The easiest environment they can relate with is the immediate one that they are in. Right? And so when I tell a story about how their speedometer, their speed level, those kind of things they can relate with the American police. And so I think if you tell a story that your audience can relate with, you can hold them spellbound for as long as you want to.
So how does a comedian handle a hard, to please the audience?
That one is always a hard nut to crack, sometimes. And that's where experience comes in, For me, I really don't know if there's any particular way, if there's one road that leads to all that helps a comedian to handle a hard audience. I just think different audience and different approach, Like if I go to an audience that's proving hard to crack, I just try everything. Comedy, we do one-liners. That's what we call one-liners. I try to create as much one-liners that I can. It helps me to penetrate, to find out what the audience likes to hear about. So I throw a one-liner about politics. If it doesn't work, I throw a one-liner about marriage. If it doesn't work, I throw a one-liner about love, song, music, dance, anything. You know, just short one-liners. And then the one that gives me the best attention, I dwell there. Right? I just do a sampling of what I think they will like. The one where they attend to me pass, I just say, okay, be like saying music these people like hear about. I just face music. You know. And then there are days that you will try it and it will not work. It doesn't stop you from being a super comedian. It doesn't stop you from being a talented comedian. These things happens with the job. Every job has its bad days. The best doctors would conduct a surgery one day and they will lose the patient. The best boxers will lose their fights. Anthony Joshua has lost the fight back to back. It doesn't stop him from being a super boxer. Michael Tyson, in his glory days, lost the fight to Holyfield. Back to back, he had to bite his ear. He had to bite his ear. Lionel Messi has been in a match where Bayern Munich defeated Barca 8-2. Some days it will not just work. It will not just work. That audience is not for you, or you just take it that day wasn't for you. It doesn't stop you from being a good comedian.
Okay. Now, what must every serious comedian do before climbing the stage?
Like I said before, prepare. You have to prepare. You have to prepare for your audience, right? If I'm going to perform at a hotel, I've been performing for a hotel for the longest of time, for over a decade. I understand perfectly the kind of jokes that the most likely kind of audience I'll be at a hotel will laugh to. If I'm going to Ibadan, I can't go and tell the same kind of jokes in Ibadan. And so before you climb every stage, before you hold the mic for every audience, you have to prepare, understudy your kind of audience. And that's why when you try to book, we try to ask questions. What's your kind of event? Where is the event holding? What are the caliber of people you are expecting? It helps us prepare the kind of jokes to tell those set of people. Right? If I'm going to perform in a clergy gathering where we have all men of God, whether top, medium, or low, you have to tell them their kind of jokes. It's not as if they don't know what's going on in Nigeria. But you know, at that point, it's their clergy conference. They are in their clergy mood. Maybe if they were in a hotel, if you tell general jokes, they will laugh. But right now, they're there in a clergy mood, so they want something biblical. They want something Christian-like, you know. So I think it's easy as any other thing. Just prepare before you climb the stage.
Let me even find out. Why did Acapella start wearing dada or dreadlocks?
Now fluke, now lockdown.
So you lock your head down.
The thing just come by itself, just like say a little bit of rebranding, right? You know, say you know now this job, once you just change style, you know, whether it's something you really love or not, you just change your style, you know, just to spice up the brand, and then maybe you go back. You know, basketball used to be on dreadlock for a long time. Now you don't go back to low cut, you know.
So I see go back, you can't go there. On the one position. All right, the beards, Sinko. Why did you start wearing beards?
Oh, I've been on beards for a long time now. At least for 3 or 4 years now. I always had beards, but I used to remove it.
Okay.
You know, so, yeah.
All right.